Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Well, it's a big day in boxing, all right? Some would say a sad day. Some would say a great day, depending on how you feel. But boxing great, and I'm going to call him a legend right now, and heavyweight legend, one of the longest reigning champions in history, Wladimir Klitschko. Wladimir Klitschko retires. We all know that he was waiting, after that fight with Joshua in April, he was kind of, taking his time to decide. And I got what you guys told you what I think. I think it was all about the training camp. Does he want to put himself through that again? And you couple that with the fact of, you can't probably leave on a better note. Not too much better note. Maybe you can leave on a win. You can do the Lennox Lewis route, like Lennox Lewis did in a hard fight against Vitaly Klitschko and retiring afterwards. Wladimir had absolutely nothing else to prove. He left on a good note. I think that was one of his best fights. Even though it was a loss, he showed heart in that fight. Because Wladimir has never been in barn burner fights. The Joshua fight was a barn burner where it was going back and forth, and maybe a Samuel Peter fight. Other than that, he pretty much dominated most fights. He's lost a few. 4 losses, if I can remember correctly. He lost to Ross Purity in Ukraine. He was fighting a lot in Germany. When we went to Ukraine, went home, him and Vitaly fought. He gassed out against Ross Purity late. He lost to Corey Sanders. We know that. He lost to Lamont Brewster, right? And then Joshua. But he's won about 65 fights, losing 4. Awesome. Reigned close to 10 years. The man is awesome. I'm pretty sure he's going to do well after his boxing career. He's a doctor, for crying out loud, and he owns K2 Promotions. He'll be fine. He's married to your girl here from Heroes, Panatera, or whatever her name is, right? So he's good to go. There's nothing for him. Good man, retire, have a great future, and don't come back, which I doubt he will do. So kudos for him for a great career. Now, he's him and his brother, Vitaly, they've done great things. It's unprecedented to have brothers rule the roost. I mean, they had all 4 belts together. That was awesome. But sometimes, they would get labeled as boring or things like that. Well, I personally think in boxing that the term boring, right, it comes from sour grapes, period. Most of the time, it's sour grapes because your guy can't beat someone, right? Then we'll call him boring. It happens to Klitschko, it happens to Mayweather, it happens to Guillermo Rigondeaux, it happens to Erislandy Lara. Guys, these guys are not fighting on a football field. If your guy can't catch somebody in a 20 by 20 ring, then something's wrong with his footwork. The other guy is not running. Running would be if we're on a football field and we're running around a track or something. People that don't have footwork always try to, change the goalposts to make you stand there and hit him and he hit you back like it's a Rocky movie. And then the funny thing about a Rocky movie is this. Everybody, we always act like we, was only like, what was it, 5 or 6 of them? You act like it wasn't no Rocky 3. What happened in Rocky 3? Because Rocky would run up on Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, right? And hit me, look all you got, right? But when Clubber Lang clubbed him a couple of times, what did he have to do? Didn't he have to go to the beach, learn some stuff, start all of a sudden dancing? You see him? Jumping rope with some rhythm, with getting them steps together. Now everybody can learn steps, just like Lamachinko. You can learn steps, but ask him to stand there and dance with a lady in front of him. I don't know. Rhythm is a different thing. I don't fall for he got rhythm. But I know for a fact you can teach people steps. After a while, they can only do them steps, but if they dance in front of the girl, all of a sudden they try to go back to them steps. But the girl, running away from the girl just trying to dance with them because they can't feel the rhythm for the girl. It's the whole thing. But don't let me get started. But at the end of the day, even your boy Rocky Balboa had to learn how to maneuver around an opponent. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to win. So there is no boring fighters to me, right? But I'm old enough to understand why people call it. It's just simply sour grapes. People couldn't get past Vladimir's jab, right? And, then he started grabbing after he got knocked out 2 or 3 times. Emmanuel Stewart told him, hey, dude, jab him and grab him. Now, it's the opponent's, it's in his opponent's interest to figure out a way to do something about that. It's not Vladimir's fault. So I don't consider that boring. Anybody that gets in the ring, for me, it's not boring. You have to figure out how to beat those particular styles. This is not rock'em sock'em robots. And guys, get off your sour grapes. If your guy can't win, then he can't win. You got to figure it out. And footwork is a part of the sport of boxing. Period. There are no boring fighters. They're just people with sour grapes out there. That's how I see it. I always have. Boring doesn't exist to me. Not in boxing. I'm sorry. And the Klitschko's also made something happen, which I call the Klitschko syndrome. Have you noticed that all heavyweights all of a sudden are big as trees? You know, everybody's 6'6", 6'7", you know, look like we walking through the redwood forest. Everybody's huge, right? Those are the Klitschkos. Because people used to walk down the street and you used to ask them to even be 6'7", or taller or something. And you talk to, hey man, you playing some hoop? Shoot some hoop somewhere? You know, we got a team, you know, we can do, you know, that's what it was. But now, after the Klitschkos was reigning so long, people start getting big fighters and start talking to people on the street about boxing, you know. So everybody's about 6'5" and up now, you know, pretty much. And the small guys are, there were normal heavyweights a few years ago. Normal size heavyweights. They're small now. Like, what's George Foreman's name? Big George Foreman, right? Dude was 6'3", about 240. He'd be kind of small nowadays, wouldn't he? You know? So, because, you heard the guys when the Gerald Miller, 300 pounds, Gerald Miller versus Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington was 6'6" and 250. And he was the small guy in that fight. So we got big guys. That's the Klitschko syndrome. You have to figure it out how we're going to beat those guys. So these guys were really, really good, you know. And so I'm just like saying this to the guy, right? Go on there, retire, enjoy your retirement, just like your brother, and you do the right things. But I enjoy this reign. And here's the thing. I did not go for Wladimir Klitschko pretty much ever until he fought Anthony Joshua, because there he was the underdog, right? But just because I wasn't going for him does not mean I did not see what I saw. And we saw a great, great heavyweight who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And again, congratulations, Wladimir Klitschko, and congratulations for a good decision here. It's a good decision to retire. Let the young guns handle this and to see what they're going to do, right? Done with Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.